Good morning, Yinzers. It's Monday. The Steelers played the Browns yesterday, and they won. They whooped that ass, and we are very happy about it. Let's go over the stats. Final score, 27-14, Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh over the Cleveland Browns. As you can see by the box score, the Browns scored a touchdown in the first quarter, a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and no more other than that. Steelers, they just scored all over the place. We slowed down a little bit in the fourth quarter, but we were playing the clock management game at that point. We weren't really trying too hard to score. So as we go down the stats here, we're looking at the team stats first. Browns with the edge, actually, on some of this stuff here, at least with the offensive statistics. 300 to 267 total yards, 196 passing yards to 147. Yeah, Russ played good enough to win, but he definitely didn't have a crazy game like he had the last couple weeks. Rushing yards, 104 to 120. The Steelers actually had the advantage there. Yards per play, actually the exact same. Funny how that worked out, huh? First downs, Browns with the edge, 20 to 15. Third downs, 2 out of 13 for the Browns, 6 out of 14 for the Steelers. This was a huge thing for the Steelers, being able to convert on third down. They have not been great at it this season, but they seem to be picking that up. Total plays, 69, nice for the Browns, 62 for us. Sacks allowed. This is also big. You know, the Steelers let one sack up. Myles Garrett had a sack late in the game in not quite meaningless, garbage time, but it was near the end of the game, and the Steelers pretty much had it in the bag by that point. So it's good to see that Russ Wilson didn't end up on the ground too much. Also, time of possession, 30 minutes flat for both teams. How often do you see that? I could count on exactly this many fingers how many times I've seen that, or at least know for sure. Let's head over to player stats here. So let's take a look. For the Browns, Jameis Winston, he got 24 for 41, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Whereas the Steelers, Russell Wilson, 15 for 26, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, and very notably, no interceptions. Man, when you don't turn the ball over, it's a lot easier to win the game. As for rushing, we held Nick Chubb to just 48 yards. That is huge. Holding Nick Chubb back is something that the Steelers really had to focus on. And Nick Chubb is a great back. What are you going to say? Glad that we held him back. Jerry Jeudy, he torched us late with a couple of big passes, including a touchdown. It's unfortunate we couldn't stop him after he torched us again last week. However, 64 yards on 5 catches, that's not terrible. Like I said, he did way worse to us a couple weeks ago, and he really torched Denver last week, I do believe. So, he's a good player. He's a great player, and the Steelers need to watch out for Jerry Jeudy. That's for sure. Let's take a peek over at the Steelers numbers here. As we mentioned before, Russ Wilson, 15 for 26, 158, and 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris, he 16 with 53, 3.3 yard average and a touchdown. He played really hard. It seemed like he ran very hard to get minimal yardage. There were a couple plays in particular where he just really chugged and worked as hard as he could for pretty much nothing. So, but it is what it is. Receiving. One of the things I said in the show last week that they needed to do was pass to the tight end a little bit more, and they sure did it this week. Pat Freiermuth, 3 catches, 48 yards, very impactful, including his touchdown. Van Jefferson, that guy just keeps showing up and playing. I'm glad he's doing all right. He's having a decent season. He's not a big numbers guy, but when we need a big catch, it always seems to be Van Jefferson lately. So that's good to see. I'm glad he did well. I'm glad he's doing well. Good for that guy. I like him. Glad to see that Mike Williams got in the game. He had 3 catches for 36 yards. That's excellent. Obviously, without Pickens, it's good to have somebody like Mike Williams there, a veteran, to step in and take up a couple of those catches, a few of those plays. So I'm really glad Mike Williams stepped it up. Over on defense, man, Deshaun Elliott, Patrick Queen, these guys had a great game. Here, Joey Porter Jr. had a couple of tackles. B.D. Bishop, my man, 3 tackles, 3 assists, good for him. T.J. Watt, 2 for 2. Oh, and don't forget James Pierre with the interception late in the game. That was amazing. That really did seal the deal at the end. Just perusing through more of the stats, Calvin Austin III, 2 returns for 20 yards, average of 10. Kicking the balls, 2 for 2. How about the kicker for the Browns missing a couple of field goals today? It seems like a lot of kickers are missing field goals against the Steelers this year. Sure, maybe it could be Acrisure, or maybe there's something going on with their special teams that are stumping kickers. Who knows? So if we head on over to ESPN.com and take a look at the standings right now for the AFC, as you can see, the Chiefs still at the top, 12-1. I don't know if they really deserve that record, but that's a discussion for another time. Bills and Steelers tied at 2, but the Bills have the tiebreaker evidently because they win the tiebreak over Pittsburgh based on strength of victory. Okay. Whatever. But anyway, so that puts us behind the Bills for now. I don't really see too many scenarios where the Bills fall back, to be honest with you. They're a great team. The Steelers have a tougher schedule going forward, especially the next 3 weeks. Philadelphia, then Baltimore, then Kansas City. A pretty ridiculous schedule. So it's hard to say what's going to happen, but I feel pretty confident right now with the Steelers based on what's going on. I feel the Steelers have a good chance of finishing right around that 12-5 mark. That would put us pretty firmly in third place, I would believe, no matter what happens with the Texans. The Texans could win out. They still wouldn't be ahead of us at 12-5. So I think that's where we're going to be pretty much stuck at, is in that third seed. But you never know. The Bills might drop a couple unexpected games. The Steelers might win out. These things do happen, and it's any given Sunday. So don't lose hope. That number 1 seed, it's not impossible yet. As long as the Steelers take care of business and they keep playing solid football and beating the teams they should beat and beating teams with winning records as we've had all season, we should be in good shape going forward. So don't lose faith on that number 1 seed just yet. Thanks everybody for joining me for this Monday morning recap over here at 2 Dum Yinzers. Please check out the show every day at 11 a.m. Runs until about 12 to 12:15 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes not on Wednesdays. So thank you for stopping by today. Have a great day. Go Steelers.